Well, folks, we got a couple things to talk about in regards to Switch 2. We have a brand new rumor about the functionality of the C button, and this rumor is interesting because I've actually seen some of the evidence to suggest that this is completely real. However, I'm not like 100% confident in the veracity of the information, but it is something that I think makes sense. It may or may not disappoint you. We'll find out when we dive into that functionality of the C button and where we found out this information from. Besides that, we also have a brand new, you call this a rumor as well, coming from PH Brazil about a major game coming in the launch window for Nintendo Switch 2 from a third party. A game many of you have probably heard of, especially if you are watching the Game Awards. So, guys, I'm really excited to dive into all of this today. Just want to remind you, hey, we're on our road to 140,000 subscribers. I had to be careful there because we actually just hit 138. So thank you for all that support on our road to 140, 150, 200, and beyond. If you guys are enjoying all the coverage of Nintendo Switch 2 and all that, which we do suspect will be revealed this Thursday, go ahead and subscribe right here to stay up to date on everything Switch 2 and all the future games and everything coming as well. All right, first we're going to head over to my Twitter account because this comes from a Discord server, and I took a screenshot here of it that's just easier to go over. And this Discord server is a Nintendo Switch 2 Discord server, which I'll provide a link to that down below. Shout out to them and the people running it and all that stuff. And it says, trying to find some SDK corroboration for this, but if true, I called it. So what are we saying might be true? Well, it says exclusive C button and chat functionality. Data mines of the current Switch operating system and exclusive SDK leaks, which probably have to do with the Switch 2 SDK, confirmed that the Nintendo Switch 2 will have GC and VC functionality, codenamed Campus. And my first reaction was GameCube and Virtual Console, but as you can see in this image, GC equals group chat, VC equals voice chat. They realized they needed to clarify what that meant. So a group chat and a voice chat functionality, and codename Campus. This is what the C button may be for. It's unconfirmed, but 99.99% sure. Also codename Campus, C button can kind of make sense. Groups will support up to 12 Nintendo Switch Online members. There will be screen sharing as well, but it's nothing like Miiverse, Vidmeo, which is like another thing that people have been rumored about. It's completely not real. It says feel free not to believe. Of course, but mark my words, it'll be official in 48 hours. So yeah, obviously the 48-hour thing is referring to Thursday. Now, here's the thing. I've actually been shown the evidence for the SDK leaks. Look, they look pretty bog standard, but it's hard for me to confirm that they're real SDK leaks. I did reach out to some game developers and kind of shot the evidence their way, and I haven't heard back. People don't really like talking about the actual software development kit and like data mines of that development kit, because when actual like code and other language gets out from the SDK, Nintendo does tend to take action because all SDKs are under massive NDAs. So if this actually came from a Nintendo Switch 2 SDK, aka it came from a Switch 2 dev kit, yeah, it's going to be really hard to get that confirmation because nobody really wants to get in trouble. It also means that could be a red flag that this is entirely fake. All right, so I was in the middle of editing this video, and then some corroboration came along for that chat and voice chat feature. Not necessarily about the word campus, but that is because LIC over at Family Boards, who is a known data miner and has provided a lot of the shipping details and all the stuff for the last handful of months, he went ahead and corroborated it, saying that, hey, this thing is real. Those functions are real. He doesn't know about campus, but you're seeing it on screen right now. He's saying that, yeah, Switch 2 is going to have those features. So look, guys, this is some pretty exciting stuff. And again, this just adds a little bit of extra on top. Still a rumor, but this is just some extra corroboration. So just remember the rest of this video. I didn't have this information, so I'm just kind of slotting it in there to provide extra evidence and keep you guys as up to date as possible. So I just want to point out there that we don't know that this is actually real. It is just a rumor, but to me, it's the one that makes the most sense. I know a lot of people talk about a cast feature. I kept feeling like the C button was more like for a community feature with chat functions, video chat functions, if not video chat, at least voice chat functions and all that, kind of modernizing everything, and it probably would be exclusive to NSO members members, which makes sense because NSO members have to have at least paid accounts. So it's not just every kid who picks up a Switch. Like, it has to be something that at least a parent has set up, if nothing else. So, yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. And up to 12 in a chat, up to 12 in a voice chat, I think is mostly fine for a majority of games. You don't really need more than 12 in a majority of multiplayer games. But obviously, there are some where it might be nice to have more than that. But at that point, you're probably using like a Discord server or some other means. So, yeah, just kind of throwing that out there as, hey, that's a really, really neat rumor. It's on the rumor mill. We'll know in less than 2 days if there's any validity to it. Now, this other one as well, and I don't think we'll get confirmation of this on Thursday, but we could, is PH Brazil is back in the headlines, and it's because he put out there that a certain game is going to be in the launch window. Not day one, but the launch window, which Nintendo defines as like 3 to 6 months. It's kind of wild. Anyways, PH Brazil comes out and says, yeah, we're claiming that Metaphor Refantazio will come to Switch 2 during its launch window. And he confirmed this. He said it in a video originally, then he confirmed it over on Family Boards. And here's a look at that post on Family Boards. And it says launch window, not necessarily day and date with the system. So yeah, saw this first at Gaming Leaks and Rumors Reddit, but you know, comes over from Family Boards and from PH Brazil himself. He does some pretty good work. Mad respect to PH Brazil, Nate the Hate, and all the other people that are talking about all this inside information that come from fairly reliable places. PH Brazil was dead right about a bunch of things last year, wrong on a couple of smaller things, but really right on some pretty big stuff. So we're going to sit back and obviously see if Metaphor Refantazio gets confirmed. We also had that rumor about Kirby Planet Robobot coming back as like a remaster, probably for Switch. So look, guys, we are in the home stretch for Nintendo Switch 2's reveal. It is happening this week. It is happening on Thursday. And I know that keep repeatedly saying that stakes my reputation on the line, but I'm not worried one bit about it. So here's the thing. Expect the Nintendo Switch 2 tweet from Nintendo that announces it to happen tomorrow afternoon or evening. The Nintendo Switch one happened at like 5:30 Central Time, which is like 6:30 Eastern Time. And then they had it at 9 a.m. Central Time the next day. So I'm kind of expecting something like that where it's in the afternoon, dinner time, at the latest 8 p.m. where they announce it. But I expect that to be tomorrow. Nintendo doesn't tend to give a lot of heads up on their events. One thing they do give a heads up on, usually 2 days ahead of time, is like a game direct. Anytime there's like a single game direct happening, they tend to give us about 48 hours notice. Nintendo directs, they give us 24 hours or less. It's always at least the day before, and that's what they did with the Switch reveal. I kind of feel like that's probably what they'll do. Again, could they drop the tweet today? Sure. I'm just not expecting it. So I'm not even anxious. I'm not even nervous. We get to 8 p.m. tomorrow and we're about to run our podcast and it still hasn't had a tweet drop. Then you got a little nerves might come up. A little nerves might come up, even though Nintendo could totally just shadow drop it. They don't have to pre-announce it. But yeah, some nerves might come up at that point. But we'll see. We'll deal with that tomorrow night if necessary. Today, we are hyped as hell over Nintendo Switch 2. It's revealed this week. Metaphor Refantazio. The idea of just basic social features like voice chat and messenger. I know that like trying to get excited about basic functionalities is very difficult to do. But guys, Nintendo modernizing their system for the present day audience, I think, is always a plus. And if they're doing things like adding in the ability to message and voice chat friends, even if it's just with NSO accounts, like you have to be an active NSO sub, I think that is a step in the right direction. I think this also bodes well for Nintendo addressing other things, such as some of the issues with the Nintendo Switch eShop. I'd like to see that addressed, obviously. I think they've already addressed, in my opinion, based on the leaks and everything, the issue with the wobble on the Joy-Con rails. The magnets should be a much better mechanism to not have that wobble. We'll see if they address Joy-Con drift as well with brand new sticks. You know someone's going to tear it down day one and see what kind of stick they're using. So I'm just going to sit back and go, I'm very, very happy and very pleased with this supposed rumors today. The Metaphor Refantazio, yeah, Game of the Year contender. Get that bad boy on Switch 2. And then obviously, when we're talking about this chat functionality, I'm all for it. Yeah, it might be like a boring use of the C button. Maybe some of you really wanted it to cast so you can get that Wii U experience and argue that's the best way to put DS and 3DS VC on your system, even though that still kind of sucks because, again, you have to look completely away from your TV to look down at your screen. So that's not the way DS and 3DS worked because they were right next to each other. You could always look at both screens at the same time. Anyways, I digress. I don't really want that functionality coming back. Some of you guys do. We'll see what happens. Thursday will reveal all, especially if it is that hardware showcase as, rumored and leaked out there that it's going to be some sort of hardware showcase. Well, if there is a cast feature, that would be featured in a hardware showcase, right? So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.